Hi students, in this chapter called relative velocity, we are going to learn how the velocity of one body appears relative to another body. So for example, if Tom is traveling in this car, what will the velocity of the red car appear to him? That is what we are going to learn about in this chapter. Relative velocity. Let's proceed. First of all, let's try to understand exactly what relative velocity means. Relative velocity is the velocity of a body with respect to an observer who is himself moving. So, for example, if you are traveling in a bus, in that case, the velocity of an other bus that's traveling next to your bus will be relative to your bus. So basically, if you yourself are moving, in that case, the velocity of an other body relative to your velocity will be the relative velocity of the body with respect to you, isn't it? So take a look at these two cars. The red car is traveling at 15 meters per second while the green car is traveling at 10 meters per second. The velocity of the red car with respect to the green car is 5 meters per second, isn't it? This means that for the green car observer, for this person sitting inside the green car, the red car is moving forward with a velocity of 5 meters per second. That's obvious, isn't it? Because he himself is moving at 10 meters per second. Similarly, the velocity of the green car with respect to the red car is minus 5 meters per second. So if there's an observer sitting inside the red car, he will see the green car moving backwards at 5 meters per second. Isn't it? After all, his velocity is 15 and the green car's velocity is 10. So he will see the green car moving backwards at 5 meters per second. In fact, in general, you can say that the velocity of A with respect to B is velocity of A minus velocity of B, isn't it? After all, that's what relative velocity means, velocity of A with respect to B. So in this case, velocity of the red car with respect to the green car. The red car is moving with 15 meters per second and the green car is moving at 10 meters per second. So the velocity of the red car with respect to the green car is velocity of red car minus velocity of green car, that is plus 15 minus plus 10 or plus 5 meters per second. Understood? This is the velocity of the red car as observed by the person sitting inside the green car. Here you go. The person sitting inside the green car will observe the red car moving at 5 meters per second. Understood? This is how the person sitting inside the green car will observe the red car moving. You should note here that we denote the velocity of A with respect to B as VAB. Understood? So VAB is the velocity of A as seen from B. So VRG here represents the velocity of the red car as seen from the green car. Understood? VRG is VR minus VG. There you go. Similarly, a person sitting inside the red car will see the green car moving backwards at 5 meters per second. So in this frame, in this video you are seeing on your screen, the green car is moving backwards, isn't it? This is exactly how a person inside the red car will perceive the green car. He will see the green car moving backwards like this. So again, velocity of green car with respect to the red car when the observer is in the red car is plus 10 minus plus 15, that is minus 5 meters per second. So there you go. You must remember this formula too, that VAB is VA minus VB. Actually, there is a more interesting way to understand relative velocity. A better way to grasp relative velocity is to understand that relative velocity of A with respect to B is the velocity of A if B is assumed to be at rest. Let us try to understand this statement more. Let us say you're traveling in your school bus and the school bus is traveling at a speed of 10 meters per second. In that case, the velocity of another car traveling next to you is the velocity of the car minus your own velocity, isn't it? So basically, if you are at rest, if you are assumed to be at rest, then what will be the velocity of the other car? That is what relative velocity is. So if, for example, if you are moving at 10 meters per second and the other car is moving at 15 meters per second, then if you are at rest, then the other car is 5 meters per second ahead in velocity with respect to you, isn't it? That's what relative velocity is. Take a look at these two cars now. Again, the red car is moving at 15 meters per second and the green one at 10 meters per second. Now, we want to calculate the velocity of the red car with respect to the green car. To do so, we will assume that the green car is at rest. To put the green car at rest, we add a negative velocity of 10 meters per second to the green car, isn't it? After all, its velocity is plus 10 meters per second, so we will add a 10 meters per second velocity in the opposite direction to make the green car's velocity 0 meters per second. We will now also add 10 meters per second to the red car, isn't it? We'll add 10 meters per second in the opposite direction to every moving body, isn't it? So we're adding 10 meters per second to the red car also in the opposite direction. That brings us the velocity of the red car with respect to the green car as 5 meters per second. So basically, the relative velocity of the red car with respect to the green car is the velocity of the red car if we assume the green car to be at rest. Understood? So if the green car has 0 velocity, the red car has 5 meters per second velocity. This is also the velocity with which an observer in the green car will see the red car moving. Take a look at this now. Here, again, the red car is 15 meters per second and the green car is moving at 10 meters per second. We want to calculate the velocity of the green car with respect to the red car. So we put the observer in the red car at rest. When we do that, the velocity of the red car becomes 0. We have added a velocity of 15 meters per second opposite to the velocity of the red car. We have similarly got to add another velocity of 15 meters per second to the green car, isn't it? We have to add this velocity to all the particles or all the cars moving in this frame. So now the velocity of the green car becomes plus 10 minus 15, that is minus 5 meters per second. So if you assume the red car to be at rest, then the velocity of the green car is minus 5 meters per second. Understood? So there you go. This is exactly how the green car seems to be moving from the red car. For an observer inside the red car is at rest, isn't it? The car is not moving away from him. He can hold the steering wheel, he can sit on his seat, and he can feel the car at rest. But the green car is moving backwards with respect to him. So the velocity of any body with respect to another body is the velocity of that particular body when the body in which the observer is situated is at rest. In fact, to find the relative velocity of A with respect to B, all you have to do is that you have to add a velocity in the opposite direction to B so that B comes to rest. And then you have to add that same velocity to A also, and then the velocity of A is the relative velocity of A with respect to B. Understood? You put B at rest and you calculate the velocity of A. That's the relative velocity of A. Similar to relative velocity, there's a concept called relative acceleration. This is again the same thing. The acceleration of A with respect to B is relative acceleration, isn't it? So if you assume that B is at rest, then the acceleration of A with respect to B is relative acceleration. AAB is AA minus AB. So for example, if the acceleration of the green car is 1 meter per second square and that of the red car is 2 meters per second square, in that case, what will be the acceleration of the red car with respect to the green car? To find that out, we'll put the green car at rest. The green car will be at rest when you add an opposite acceleration of 1 meter per second square, isn't it? Now, when you add 1 meter per second square in the opposite direction to the green car, you also have to add 1 meter per second in the opposite direction to the red car. So now, the red car has a net acceleration of plus 2 minus 1, that is plus 1 meter per second square. So that is the relative acceleration of the red car with respect to the green car. Understood? Similarly, we can find out the acceleration of the green car with respect to the red car. To find out the acceleration of the green car with respect to the red car, let's put the red car at rest. Here, we can put the red car at rest by adding an opposite acceleration of 2 meter per second square to the red car. When we do that, we also have to add an opposite acceleration of 2 meter per second square to the green car. Now, the green car has a net acceleration of minus 1 meter per second square, isn't it? So the green car appears to be moving backward with an acceleration of minus 1 meter per second square for an observer inside the red car. Understood? AAB is AA minus AB. So there you go. That was the simple concept of relative acceleration in one dimension. We were talking about straight line motion. What about 2 dimensions? You see, there could be a car moving along the x-axis and there could be another car moving along the y-axis. In that case, what will be the velocity of the car moving along the y-axis with respect to the car moving along the x-axis? In fact, there could be any vectors in space. You know, a car could have a velocity vector of say 3i plus 4j. Another car could have a velocity vector of 10i plus 12j. In that case, what will be the relative velocity? Well, we will use the same formula. If there is r1 vector and r2 vector, then the position of r1 vector with respect to r2 vector is r1 vector minus r2 vector, and that is r relative. Understood? In this diagram you can see that r2 vector plus r relative vector is r1 vector, isn't it? So you can say that r1 vector minus r2 vector is r relative. This r relative vector shows the position of r1 vector with respect to r2 vector. So if you draw a vector from the tip of r2 vector to the tip of r1 vector, you will get the position of r1 vector with respect to r2 vector. Understood? Similarly, you can differentiate all these vectors here to get the velocity v1 vector with respect to v2 vector. The velocity v1 vector with respect to v2 vector is v1 vector minus v2 vector, or you could say that v2 vector plus relative velocity is v1 vector. You can similarly differentiate these expressions to get the acceleration a1 vector with respect to a2 vector. The acceleration a1 with respect to a2 is a1 vector minus a2 vector, a relative vector. Now all this might seem complicated, like you might say all this is fine vectorially, but how are we going to use these facts in solving problems? Or how are we going to use these facts in understanding real life situations? Well, this is a more realistic example. The blue car is traveling with a velocity of 20 meters per second along the x-axis. The red car is traveling at an angle 30 degrees with respect to the x-axis at a velocity 30 meters per second. What is the velocity of the red car with respect to the blue car? Can you find that out? Well, we will again use the simple fundamental that we learnt earlier. To calculate the velocity of A with respect to V, we put B at rest and then we calculate the velocity of A. In this case, we will put the blue car at rest because we want to calculate the velocity of the red car with respect to the blue car. Here, we will put the blue car at rest by adding a negative velocity of 20 meters per second along the x-axis to the blue car. So now the net velocity of the blue car is plus 20 minus 20, that is 0. We will similarly have to add this velocity of 20 meters per second in the negative x direction to the red car, isn't it? After all, we have added it to the blue car. So now the velocity of the blue car is the sum of these two velocities. Its initial velocity of 30 meters per second at an angle 30 degrees with respect to the x-axis and this negative velocity of 20 meters per second along the x-axis. Therefore, the blue car is at rest while the net velocity of the red car is minus 20 plus 30 cos 30 degrees I plus 30 sin 30 degrees j. You see, we can resolve the net velocity of the red car along the x-axis and along the y-axis. The velocity of the red car along the y-axis will clearly be 30 sin 30 degrees. So 30 sin 30 degrees j will be the y-axis component of the red car's velocity. The red car's velocity along the x-axis will be minus 20 because of this 20 meters per second in the negative x-axis that we added, plus 30 cos 30 degrees I, isn't it? Because that will be the x-axis component of its initial velocity of 30 meters per second. So this net velocity minus 20 plus 30 cos 30 degrees I plus 30 sin 30 degrees j will be the relative velocity of the red car with respect to the blue car. There you go. This is our answer. Don't worry if all this seems complicated, because all that we have done is that we put the blue car to rest by adding an opposite velocity. Understood? A velocity of 20 meters per second. We then added the same opposite velocity to the other car, the red car, and then we calculated the net vector sum of the red car's velocity to get the velocity of the red car with respect to the blue car. Let's now solve yet another problem to clear this concept further.